Hello. Today I'm doing commentary on roto modeling, and I recorded this before, but I took too long to get to the point, so I'm just gonna get to it right away. All right. So I made 3 squares, and I'm trying to get like half an inch of like clearance, so I know half an inch is the size I'm working with on these D&D miniatures. So then I made the barrel by doing a spline across 3 circles. Um, yeah, and then I'm getting the little grooves by just doing cuts and a circular pattern around those cuts across the whole thing. Now here I'm making the little, okay, well, that's a chamfer, and then that's a fillet because, you know, it's gotta look nice and rounded. Now here's where I'm doing the little metal bands. So I just took the regular size that I did, and then I just went out by like, I think 0.1 inch or 0.05 inch. But yeah, that makes it look nice, and like this is like a metal band, you know, the metal bands that keep the barrels together. I'm adding a little wood pattern, and then when I tried measuring the wood so it was equal to the size of the wooden beams on the barrel itself. Here I'm making a floor. Yeah, this is half an inch miniatures because yeah, there's just more to explore that way. And I like that scaling better. So anyway, yeah. Looks like I get a little distracted and I stop working on the floor, and here I'm making a crate. In D&D there's always a lot of crates. You open up and explore. Adding more metal beams to support it, like I did on the barrel. Adding a lot of depth makes it look nice. Let's rule in like everything. There we go. I didn't feel like redoing the little chamfers on every single click, so I just did a mirror body. That's what it's called. Then I'm doing fillets. Then I'm doing chamfers because I missed anyway. I tried to shell it and then it didn't work, so then I just shelled it manually. And let's see. Okay, adding more little smooth edges here. Okay, here I'm adding... I did this thing where I tried, on the barrel too, adding a small hole for a screw. And that's really... Oh. Okay, I heard a sound, but anyway. Adding a nice hole for a screw so that way you can prop it up and paint it nice and easy. Because I'm going to be making a lot of these miniatures, and it just saves a lot of time painting like that, as opposed to trying to hold this small thing in your hand. Because this is smaller than the tip of my pinky. These were really small. Adding little planks to the top. More chamfers, more fillets. Then I thought it was looking a little boring. The computer just asked if I have unused printers. Anyway, it was looking a little boring, so I added the diagonal plate, the planks. Now here, I don't really know what these are. These kind of look like cloth on the crate, but I think that works out cool. Okay, now I'm making the shack. This is where most of the side's gonna go. So yeah, it starts simple. I'm just doing windows, and now I'm making little planks to accentuate the windows. Every like grid square is a half an inch, just so I make sure the miniatures fit everywhere, which is nice. Yeah. There we go. I hate supports. So you can see there I'm adding chamfers on the overhanging bits. I'm seeing very, very, very brief cuts to YouTube. I like to listen to YouTube while I model. Alright, here I'm making the windows. Okay, I started off with way too many lines. That's way too many lines. I don't know what I was thinking. So I got rid of it. I had little stones, you know, just to give it a nice texture. And then I also added the chamfer from bottom so I don't have to do the supports on there too, because I do not like supports. Okay, very quick. I saw Daphne and Velma very, 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 very quickly. Alright. Well, yeah, this gives it a nice depth. So, this is going to be real nice. Then some wooden beams. That also adds a nice depth and a nice complexion. Since this is a really small thing, I feel like it needs to be a little more complex. Now, okay, I'm doing a chair. That's nice. This isn't very good commentary. But, you know, it's better than just the music, I thought. I'll do a music. Here we go. There it is in Blender. This is sped up by 32, so things are really, really, really going to be fast. But, you know, some of my other ones went on a little too long, so. I'm actually using here we go, an AKG P220 microphone. And it's kind of a funny story because I got it at the music store. I wanted like a legit high-end good microphone. But the dude put like the fear of death in me. Like, he kept telling me, like, if you drop it once, then it's over. You threw it away, basically. So, right now I'm just holding it in my hand. So that's why if you hear, like, oh, I'm over here, now I'm over here. That's why it might be a little inconsistent. And I was gonna get a microphone stand, but dude, microphone stands are like more expensive than the microphone itself, which is crazy. I had no idea. So I started making my own, you know, modeling it and stuff. And I have 2 pieces of it right here, but I never finished it, so I should really finish that because holding this has gotten annoying. Okay, so here I'm doing the windows again. And this looks much better because I did a lot more space. Because it's a window, you should be able to see out of a window. There I'm putting it in Blender again, just to see how everything looks together. Okay, so I saw YouTube for half a second again. But yeah, the little mirror and linear pattern is really nice. This kind of became a mess because when you mirror, it keeps all the relations, and relations like wreck the RAM. But here I had an issue with 0 thickness geometry. I have no idea how, because I did exactly the same thing on the other windows and they didn't have a problem with it, but there was some issue apparently. Okay, now I'm just adding chamfers. This is gonna be the long process, since, you know, I like everything to look nice and smooth, but it just takes a long time to put all those chamfers. And I can't use mirror because the door makes it asymmetrical, so I just gotta do it by hand, but it's the worst problem. This is the Baldur's Gate 3 soundtrack you're hearing, because I just finished that game. And this is D&D, so this is the same universe, same stuff. Apparently the locations in Baldur's Gate are the same ones in D&D, like Waterdeep. And I didn't know that. I thought it was unique to the game, but I guess not. Okay, I'm making little planks. These planks were way too thin, so I had to delete them and then start again. So, yeah, there you go. I deleted them, started again. This doesn't feel like very good commentary, but it's my first time doing commentary. Okay, I made a little handle and then I got rid of it because I didn't like it. Now I'm doing more chamfers on the bottom stone bits. Alright, and now we got 3D print it. I'm going to 3D print it.